right, here's something I'm not happy to share. However, I'm choosing to share it in case it can help anyone with mindset about cardio versus strength training. And keep in mind, these are my results. These are not guaranteed to be everyone's results. However, there is a ton of information out there discussing how it is not ideal, especially for women middle-aged and a little bit older. I am now 53. It's not ideal to do a ton of cardio, to do minimal or no weightlifting, and to restrict calories. That these are not ideal things, okay? So I'm going to show, and I've X'd out my ID in there because that's sensitive information that I don't want to share. I'm going to show what happened over the past 3.5 months snowboarding. Okay, the last measurement for my InBody was 11/14/25. I didn't start snowboarding until right after Christmas because of the late season, and then the mountain was closed for a couple days, and I just did this measurement, this recheck measurement yesterday. So I'm going to get close up here. Let me make sure that I'm in frame over here. Okay. So what we have, it's very hard to see, but the last measurement down here is 11/14/25. Oh, that's the day before my birthday. And the measurement compared to is 3/31/26. So yesterday. All right. So what happened when I've been snowboarding a lot, and therefore then I'm tired and I can't do as much weightlifting because I'm freaking fatigued and I know that I will hurt myself. There's another component that is in here that has to do with when women and men, I've heard you guys talk about the two, when women go, I'm just gonna eat less and do more cardio. Okay, no, that's not how it works. All right, so I'll get to that afterwards. All right, so what happened here is smooth muscle mass went from, in November, hold on, let me recenter, 60.4 down to 58.9. So I lost muscle with a lot of snowboarding. And this pattern happens every winter. This is not the first time I've tracked this. So I am used to this. Granted, I really, really don't like it. The part that surprises a ton of people, and I tell them this, and the common reaction is like, what? But you're doing so much exercise. And yes, snowboarding it's basically all cardio, right? There is like, yeah, you're using legs, but it's at its core, it's all cardio. And so we showed you the muscle loss. Percent body fat went from 12.1 to 14.5. So I gained body fat by doing too much cardio. And again, these are my results. This does not mean it's your results. I feel like we always have to put disclaimers because there's always going to be someone going, meh, meh, meh. So these are my results. However, there's a large body of evidence suggesting that this is not uncommon. If you are doing a ton of cardio, it does stress your body. Obviously, I choose to do it. And like I told you, I've seen this happen many seasons of snowboarding. The other fact, so this is what happens with my body. I am an ectomorph. That means my body prefers to be lean and not gain muscle. And I know some of you out there are going to be like, wah, cry me a river. Honestly, it's as much of a real problem for me as other problems are for other people. I always wanted to be the athletic girl with muscle, the girl that looks strong, that is active, and that got chosen for the teams in high school. Okay, that is some of my back childhood and mentality. I always wanted to be that, and I'm chasing it still. I didn't actually gain significant visible muscle until I was 42 years old. So that also means it can still happen. The other factor in here, and why I want to implore those of you who feel like you just need to keep cutting back calories, is, so I know snowboarding, I track it on my watch. I know it's a ton of output. It'll be like, I'll burn, roughly in a 6 to 7 hour period, like 1,700 calories just snowboarding. And then I have the basal metabolic rate on here says 1404. And that's, so I need to be taking in at least like 3,000 calories. A factor that has become an issue for me is what my gut can tolerate and what it can't tolerate. It's specifically challenging when I'm traveling. To Mammoth, I bring 95% of my food. And I know pretty much in the town what I can eat out and what I can't, and it's still pretty limited. But when I went to Steamboat and Whistler this year, I couldn't bring my food. And yes, I had a kitchen and I did go to the grocery store. However, when I'm gone all day from my hotel room and I can only bring so much in my backpack, taking in enough calories that my GI tract can tolerate. So I can't just go buy any meal out that I want because that doesn't really agree with me. So that is akin to the mindset of a lot of women saying, I'll just eat less. Like 1,200 calories is a common one. I'm gonna go for 1,200 calories. No, dude, don't go for 1,200 calories. It's not enough. Prioritize protein. I always do. I get definitely a sufficient amount of protein, and that I know. However, I do know that I need to keep upping the carbs also to help put this muscle back on. So let this be a very long public service announcement for the mindset that might be out there saying, I'll do more cardio and I'll eat less and I'll get the results I want. So keep that in mind when you see these results on paper.